Recorded live from the dungeon, this is the Dream Warrior Review, and I'm Kurt Thomas.
And coming at you live from the hills of Tennessee, straight from his Tennessee Hyundai,
I'm Mick Strawn.
Mick Strawn.
If anybody's listening, Steven Spielberg, who wants to hire a nice young man like myself, I'm not going to say my age because I look young, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. well, you will have a producer credit by the end of the year.
This is good.
Yeah, it's good.
From set
good.
decorator to producer, boom.
There you go. From leaf placer on up. Okay.
Oh yeah, Dracula. I forgot what we were doing. So we saw, this really intrigued me because I saw it on Netflix and I kept kind of passing it by. And then I saw a commercial about it on TV and I'm like, I gotta check that out because I really like Dracula. I've read the book like 80 times probably. I don't even know how many times I read the book. But this is a cool little take on it.
Yeah, this is interesting because, first of all, as for the story of Dracula...
Yes.
It starts out. We got to be careful about spoilers.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just say that it starts with a very standard Dracula impersonation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that's clear from the trailers that I've seen. It's kind of a different story. It's a different take on it.
Right. Well, I think it's interesting how close it starts out to being almost exactly another Dracula, and as it goes along, it starts to build a different momentum, and it starts to veer into a new world, and I just have to say, the first half compared to the last half. The last half is amazing.
How many did you watch?
I just watched the one.
Oh, so okay, yeah. Well, I watched the first two, and my impression is that the second one wasn't as good as the first one. So I'm worried about watching the third one now.
Well, the weird thing about it is that it was so gaining speed by the time you get out to the end of the first one, you're going, oh my God. So right now, in just watching the first one, I was hardly impressed.
Really?
Very, very impressed. Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's how I was. I really enjoyed the first one, but then I can't say I was all the way in on the second one. I don't want to ruin anything, but
well, there
it's
you go.
interesting. It's like, yeah, so I give the first one probably, I mean, I'm pretty high up, 4 out of 5 maybe, just because it was different and pretty violent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, just the last half hour of the first one by itself is really a great Dracula version.
Which I don't know why it couldn't have been 30-minute episodes. That would have been probably a good choice, I think.
Yeah.
Was this a BBC production?
I don't know. It was obvious. It was obviously Eastern European. That's where they were shooting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just got the feeling it was a British production for some reason. I was actually trying to look it up. Oh, official sites: British Broadcasting Corporation.
Ah, well, there you go.
UK. Yep, country UK.
Yep.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
Hartsford Films. Okay, yeah. So all British.
Very, very impressed with these special effects. There was some practical special effects that were makeup special effects that were quite amazing.
And you can't probably
really
give too many examples on that either.
Yeah, I'm not giving examples. I'm just saying, stay for the cape, or no, come for the cape.
Stay for the blood.
Stay for the blood, yeah.
There's one scene I like with nuns.
Stay for the gore.
That's all I'm going to say. There's a scene I like with nuns.
Right. Well,
it's pretty insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty insane. Yeah. 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 So, yeah, the camera work was pretty good. You know, overall, it creeped me out, and I loved it.
Did you like the staircase? I thought that was kind of interesting, the way they did that.
Well, yeah. I thought the explanation of it was kind of weird, but you know, that's whatever. Yeah, I was wondering because there was part of a scene there where Dracula was acting more as a tour guide, and
yeah, totally.
I had to get beyond that.
Well, there's a part of episode 2 where he looks like Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island. Kind of, he acts like that a little bit.
Well, yeah. You know, I mean, there's a difference between the original Dracula. They are the children of the night.
yes.
To, I don't know how they built the staircase.
Yes, exactly.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like it was a tour.
It was a tour, and I was like, I don't know about that, but it gets a lot better.
I kind of wish there was some cape work though, like there was in the original Dracula with the the
oh
cape
yeah,
work.
yeah.
Look into my eyes.
But I do have to say this though. You know what? If you're watching all this, right, and as you were saying that the second is not as strong, what you really have to do is go back and check out the original Dracula, the original American one, and then Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Because those two original films.
The Spanish one's good too.
Yeah, the Spanish one was pretty good too. Yeah, the one thing that I didn't quite understand is there was I think they replaced cobwebs with flies.
yeah, there were. That definitely seemed like there was a lack of cobwebs.
Yeah, there was less cobwebby. You know, the original Dracula is everything, is the pinnacle of set dressing with cobwebs.
Over the top set dressing, yes.
Over the top. But they did an amazing job with it. I mean, really, you know, it's like if there are moments, you know, where there's capes and there's cobwebs, and you know, I'm happy.
Well, I do have to say, I do like the one that came out in 1992, Francis Ford Coppola one with Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, Bram Stoker's Dracula. That was pretty amazing. I haven't watched it for a while, but that's a really good one. Have you ever seen that one?
I haven't.
You should see that one because it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola, so there's definitely some interesting camera work for one thing. But Gary Oldman is amazing.
Oh, wow, cool.
So I just watched it because I was a fan of Winona Ryder at the time, and I was obsessed, so I had to go see her, of course. But
yeah, well,
but then it was like Anthony Hopkins and Gary Oldman. Yeah, okay, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
The only problem was Keanu Reeves was in it, but you know, you can overlook that because it was the '90s Keanu Reeves. You know.
Oh yeah, okay.
Before he got cloned and they taught him how to act.
That's
I gotta be careful what I say. I'm like, hit onto something.
Stop.
Oh, and I forgot.
Stop it.
I just looked it up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot. Tom Waits was in it. He played Renfield.
Really? Oh.
So there you go.
Renfield. I was going to say, you know what? This has the Renfield character. It's funny because it doesn't have the direct correlation to the Renfield character.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, but it's like the protagonist is plays a little bit of the Renfield character.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Again, flies come into that, obviously.
Yeah. Flies. Yes. It's true. Yeah. A little bit too much flying going on, I have to say.
So I give the first episode a 4. Where are you with it?
I'm about 3.8 on the first episode. And we'll just have to. Maybe we'll just make a note next week
to talk about the other two. Well, I think how many are there? There's 3 or 4.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get in and check it out.
I get
But
the feeling
we'll-
3 is not watchable, but
We'll talk about that. So,
I think that's it.
so that's it. Okay.
Oh, and stay tuned, like, on our Facebook pages. I'm sure we'll have updates about our little project, and we'll probably connect it to somehow. What's that? I'm blanking on George C. Romero's
Indie Brigade.
the Indie Brigade. Yeah, well,
Yes.
So we have to promote them too because they're obviously helping us.
Yeah, we got to get a hold. I'll get a hold of him this weekend, and we'll work on that. Okay, guys.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.